I am glad to welcome everyone to my channel. Today we bring to your attention 9 most interesting Turkish TV series that will surely captivate you, this time with subtitles on YouTube. War of the Daughters-in-Law. The movie War of the Daughters-in-Law is a light and fun comedy. Sultan and Gizem are young women who are the wives of 2 siblings, Salim and Fatih. Everyone is happy about this event and wishes the young women happiness in their family life. But the 2 daughters-in-law have a constant rivalry, which turns into a real war. They are trying to prove to the mother-in-law, who is the best daughter-in-law, who is the first to give and who's the best wife for her son. In nightmare dreams, the brothers-in-law never dreamed of a war of daughters-in-law. Salim and Fatih also find themselves involved in a story of endless rivalry. The film shows how the behavior of the daughters-in-law affects the relationship between the 2 brothers and what tactics they will choose to keep the family calm. Hide Me, starring Yilmaz Kaycılaroglu, Semra Baysal, Asad Kalbek, Sene Gula, Seda Duvenci. The protagonists of this drama, which is a stunning cocktail of passion. Young people meet Yilmaz Kaycılaroglu and Naz, Asad Kalbek, who are the children of rich and influential families, spoiled from childhood and used to getting everything they want out of life. They live in a world of family promises that become the starting point of their relationship. However, when Meet notices Insula, Semra Baysal, a charmingly beautiful maid, Naz, who has always been there for him since childhood, he begins to question the decisions he has made. Meet's return from abroad means that Naz will finally marry him. The idyllic anticipation of the wedding is replaced by the joy of both families, all its members. Except Insula. She is the only person who can understand Naz and be a support in her life. The 2 have become interdependent on each other, but unfortunately they are both in love with the same man, and this love frightens Insula when she learns of the wedding. As much as Insula tries to be happy for Naz, the news of the marriage breaks her heart. However, life decides to test this trio much more than they anticipated. Insula and Meet's secret relationship will change the direction of the story Naz has painstakingly written for years. Meet is faced with a complex internal conflict as he does not want to disappoint his family, but nevertheless feels a strong attachment to Insula. This leads him to find his own path and true love, who may be there, but not as clearly as he is used to seeing with his fiancée Naz. Meet will have to re-evaluate his priorities, recognize his true feelings, and make his difficult choice. It's a decision that will turn his life upside down. Did you find this series interesting? TV series Ashes. What to do if the man you are waiting for is not from this world? A married and wealthy woman begins reading an unpublished novel, but a dizzying fantasy turns into a dangerous forbidden love and ruin her life. Is not available on Netflix until February 9th. As if there is no tomorrow. The series begins with a seemingly innocuous interview with the political journalist Hakan, who has come to interview the actress Manolya. He is completely unhappy with this task and does not take actresses of this genre seriously at all. But Hakan had no choice in the matter, and so, with a sinking heart, he went to fulfill his professional duty. The actress Manolya is also not eager to talk to a journalist, as she knows from bitter experience that they almost always manage to ask tricky questions that put you in an awkward position. The interview took place in the evening in a deserted room. It was then that some kind of incomprehensible game between Manolya and Hakan seemed to begin. At first glance, simple questions began to sound mysterious, and suddenly both found themselves at the mercy of incomprehensible and contradictory feelings. Of course, I realize that you came to my channel to watch this video and that's it, but I would really appreciate your support. Our channel needs free, but very valuable support in the form of subscriptions and likes. It is very important because without it is very difficult to popularize our content. Please note that our channel has already prepared a lot of selections for you, so do not forget to watch them. Don't forget to watch them as well. We promise it will be interesting, and be sure to write in the comments what you liked and what you didn't. That's all. I'm not going to distract you anymore. Enjoy your next viewing. TV series Splinter, starring Kaan Yildirim, Bayram Damla Yilmaz, Sarp Akaya, Engin Alkan, Merve Kajaran. The series Detached reveals the global problem of modern society, where despite development and progress, there is still a division of people into the poor. This is a thrilling drama with elements of action, telling viewers the story of a modern-day Robin Hood. In today's world, many argue that true heroes have disappeared, that there are no such men who can protect the elderly and the weak. There's no shoulder to lean on. But Farhan does not agree with these words. He feels an inner pain because of the social inequality that surrounds him. Finally, Having reached the limits of his patience, Farhan decides to take the cause of justice into his own hands. This is how Tarlabashi gets its own version of Robin Hood, a defender of the underprivileged and the poor. But an unexpected misfortune throws Farhan off his game. When he received the news of the death of a loved one, he realized that he would not be able to fight and take revenge in his own form. He decided to become Orhan and continue the fight. Now Orhan had to enter into a confrontation with a man whose daughter he madly loved. Kubra, starring Kagate Ulusoy, Aslihan Malbora, Asan Eroglu, Gökhan Sahinoglu, a young and diligent worker in a production workshop, is the protagonist of the series. His tireless work and dedication have always helped him to achieve his goals, for which he has won the respect and recognition of his boss. In his free time, Gökhan prefers to socialize on social networks or spend time with his beloved. The life of the guy flows in a measured way and without any surprises. He actively uses dating sites, not anticipating any changes in his everyday existence. However, everything changes when he receives a mysterious message from an unknown sender with a strange nickname. The content of the message makes Gökhan shudder. The addressee claims that he is another Gökhan. At first, the guy doesn't pay much attention to these strange messages, but they keep oming, and each new message catches his attention more and more. The unknown person knows almost everything about Gökhan, even the secrets that he hasn't shared even with his loved ones. Now Gökhan is haunted by questions about who this mystery man is, how he knows so much personal information. From this moment, Gökhan's life will never be the same again. Windy Mountain. The story of Zeynep and Halil, who live far from the way their parents want them to. According to the script, Zeynep is a well-behaved girl from one of the richest families in the city. She is intelligent and beautiful. Halil is an orphan. He lost his mother and father when he was a child. He currently lives with his aunt, who lives in hatred of the family that made Khalil lose his parents. Moreover, she dreams of taking revenge on them. Despite the estates and such different fates, Zeynep and Halil become close. Moreover, they do everything wrong that their families want them to do. One day, because of their unwillingness to live by the rules set by their families, Zeynep and Halil will find themselves in a very complicated and confusing situation. Did you find this series interesting? Please write in the comments. And now, my dear viewers, bonus for connoisseurs of Turkish TV series, guess the name of the series. The series tells the story of Cennet, who earlier tied herself to the strong ties of marriage to the man she thought was her destiny. She was sure that the man in her future would make her happy, but she was wrong. Her husband turned out to be a tyrant who had no tolerance for disobedience. He turned the life of his wife into a nightmare, imprisoning her in a golden cage. He behaved casually in public and in front of relatives, making them believe in the family idol reigning in his house. Cennet had been waiting for months for the right moment to escape. She had completely stopped smiling, forgotten joy, stopped feeling pain. The loving mother tried to do everything she could for their safety and well-being. After another quarrel with her husband, Cennet finds herself in the hospital. The girl's abuse becomes known to the doctor, who gives her the number of a successful lawyer. Starring Alp Navras, Dilara Akswek. Don't Be Afraid, I'm With You is a touching story of a young woman named Eileen. Her story is full of drama, love, betrayal. A girl in her school years, at a very young age, she first experienced the joy of love. Naive and inexperienced, she threw herself into the arms of her lover without thinking about anything. Love was followed by anxious days when Eileen found out she was pregnant. But despite the prejudices and gossip of others, the girl decided to give birth to a child. That's how little and beautiful Inji was born. Inji is now a grown-up girl herself. In youth, it is common to make mistakes and not to listen to the opinions of adults. Eileen is going through a difficult time when she learns about her daughter's problems, and finding a common language with her daughter becomes a difficult task every day. However, a man will soon appear in the lives of each of them. Before You. Actors, Sinem Unsal, Alp Navras, Nilkari Shahinkia. Hakan Dagstan is not only smart, but also extremely rich and very attractive. He is the owner of one of the largest construction companies in Turkey. However, in his personal life of a businessman is not as smooth as it seems from the outside. Everyone around him thinks that between him and his wife Merve reigns idol, but it's just an appearance. The family is clearly in discord, and feelings have long since faded. On a business trip, Hakan meets his old friend Sarah, with whom he was once passionately in love. In his heart, again, flares up a tender sympathy for his former beloved. The hero is faced with a difficult choice, to keep the family or to give in to temptation and resume the old romance. Will you watch this series?